Okay, this is day 348, and it has been a busy morning. So this article came out yesterday with Luke Rosiak talking about how this Uber driver, Imran Awan, was sending money to Pakistan to this guy, this other Awan guy in Pakistan. Now, he was really sending money to his uncle or his other relative called Pir Muhammad Shah, but this is the guy that they say they sent the money to. Interestingly enough, we have more metadata. Hundreds of pages of SAR reports. The SAR, like, you know, the Nicholas the Tsar, only this is the SAR, S-A-R. SAR is a suspicious activity report. Piles of suspicious activity report. Funny how the prosecution didn't mention the piles of suspicious activity reports sending the money. Now, Steve Gowan, the lawyer, says you don't understand how real estate's purchased in Pakistan, and you don't understand how you have to pay drug lords in Pakistan in the military. I'm not going to explain it to you. That's almost a direct quote. So here is the situation now that we've got more metadata, piles of SAR reports. We're going to have to figure out something, you know, like a Tower of Babylon or something that uses the word SAR. You know, we're going to have to come up with a moniker, a nickname for the piles of paper, of the SAR paper. But anyway, there's going to be hundreds of transfers now, to the Pakistani military. I say it's Pir Muhammad Shah, which is, I said about 200 days ago, 150 days ago, I said it was Pir Muhammad Shah, since he was on Imran's Facebook, the guy who runs the PSP right here. I said it was a CIA cutout 150 days ago. I think I'm going to be right. Of course, that was speculation, right? That was speculation. Now, remember this. I'm going to jump back, but we're going to just remember that Kenneth Mormon here is going to be living at that sprayer house. So we're going to have to figure out how we get Kenneth Mormon and his wife Imelda Falar into the house. This is kind of almost like a Three's Company house here. We have to figure out the timeline of that house. We're going to come back to that. So anyway, some other speculation I said about the 3 members of the CAO being threatened. Well, first of all, this is the lawyer. This is how Imran bragged how he could have people tortured in Pakistan. And he bragged at the 3 CAO employees in the house cafeteria. And that was borne out by Luke's reporting. What's great is when you say these truths and then people come out and confirm them, it's a lot easier than people coming out and saying it, because all they're saying is, hey, well, you know that one thing? It's really true. So, and we'll continue to do that every day. Here again, he recounted the fellow Democratic House IT aide on the condition of anonymity, recounted the conversation between Imran and 3 colleagues in the House cafeteria. He seemed to relish about the ability to have people harassed and tortured in Pakistan. Not just harassed, but also tortured. So Pir Muhammad Shah. Just remember, you heard it here first. Guess what? He was also sending IT equipment to Pakistan. Now, I'm the one who said this was exactly the same operation that they ran in the Indian House of Representatives, with the breakout box with all the SIM chips, 3,000 SIM chips. They're sending it to Pac ISI. They're sending it to Lahore so they can doctor and dope the phones and bring them back and give them to our House representatives. There's the iPhones. So now we're going to tie the CDW orders, all the CDW orders, now on the Pakistani Express. On the Pakistani Express. They're all going to Pakistan and then they're all coming back. So Imran's not doing the work, as I mentioned. I thought it was being done by Hasib Rana, but apparently they're actually going to Pakistan, which makes it more like the India operation, almost exactly. We're going to get back to all the stuff happening here, but I believe there's 2 models that were killed in the 58 that are going to be interesting. I'm not saying they were Dumbo dropped. But it is interesting that Otaiba had the Dumbo drop in 2014 at the Mandalay Bay Hotel. And now he owns a $50 million condo or a $50 million beach house in Malibu. And there's 2 models from LA that they're in the death list. I say it's going to be 8, but we'll see if that comes out. The key question will be, had they ever gone Did they go to the Dumbo Drop 2014 event in Vegas? And did they ever go to the beach house in Malibu? So we're going to find that out. The GES model and the other gal, Tonks and Angela Gomez, and then Tonks. Turns out there's another Tonks that actually knows Jeffrey Epstein. So I don't know if there's a relative relation there or not with Tonks. It's like Tonka truck, T-O-N-K, but it's T-O-N-K-S, not A. T-O-N-K-S, Tonks. And you can see how young and beautiful those young ladies were and how tragic their early death is. So here we're going to go back to the sprayer house, and I'm sorry I'm jumping around, but this is just kind of summarizing my Twitter activity this morning. You can see here that clearly the house was sold in November 2014. Why would the Washington Post want to say it was in April of 2015? Clearly wrong. Clearly Sean Boberg is wrong. Clearly I was right. This was in November 2014, right after, about a month after Jaquela had her baby. Now I'll go into what a kiss and kill is and a kiss no pill is, those CIA ops a little bit, if people want me to. I'm not saying Jaquela was a kiss and kill. I'm not saying Jaquela was a kiss no pill. I'm just saying that those are standard CIA ops. Here's Oteba with 66 million from Madagascar, Malaysia. I've always said that the money, the Clinton Foundation money, the 6 billion was in Malaysia. This is the kickback of 66 million. Here's Ote with more models. Well, anyway, you can see Ote. It doesn't always look like a diplomat, an ambassador to the United Nations. Or not to the United States, excuse me. There's FARA filings here that we can talk about for the Dubai Aerospace Company that I tweeted out this morning. We can talk about how they gave the most amount of money in Congress for pay-to-play weapons deals at 10 million. We'll get there. But these are just proof points that I think that just came out today, this morning so far. John Podesta's Center for American Progress. Who knew that John Podesta was working with Ote? Gosh, that's just a surprise. Anyway, you're going to see how all these things are kind of coming together now. And here we go. Looks like there's $6 billion been discovered in Malaysia, okay, with connection to Ote. I'm not saying that's drug laundering money. I'm not saying that's drug laundering money. There's the $50 million Malibu estate for Ote. I'm not saying that was all the models were Dumbo dropped in Vegas, but I'm saying a couple were. So anyway, this article is good for just kind of trestling under or confirming a lot of the things that I've already reported, which is good. Again, Luke still won't publish the picture of Gilani, won't publish the picture of Abid, won't publish the picture of Jamal, won't publish the picture of any of the witnesses. I'm telling you, the key to this case is publishing their pictures, because then people can figure out the false identities. Critical, Luke, critical. So anyway, that's the morning report. I'll just say it real quick. Kiss and kill is where you get a very pretty girl, usually a stripper, strung out on heroin. Then she's coming to you for heroin. You say, hey, it'd be great if you married this guy over here just for a while. Then after, usually that guy has a business that you want to take over. After he marries you, break up the marriage if he's married, live in the same house. Sometimes you do the baby, sometimes you don't do the baby, but then the guy dies of cancer, or you cancer the guy, or some other thing. It's an old CIA thing, and that's kiss and kill. Then you get the business. Then, unfortunately, what the model doesn't realize, or the stripper doesn't realize, is that they die a couple years later. And the CIA guy gets everything. And kiss no pill is a softer form of that, where you just get married and get half the assets. Usually when you do that for a doctor or somebody who's got long-term earning potential, rather than a business that can be taken over. So that's kiss and kill and kiss no pill.